Most people imagine the American legal system as a single ladder, where you start at the bottom and climb your way straight to the top. But if you step inside the actual legal system, you will quickly find a massive, deeply confusing maze. Let's say Jack from Indiana is driving through Ohio and gets into a severe car crash with Jill, who lives in Ohio. Who actually holds the trial? Indiana? Ohio? A federal judge? If Jack files his lawsuit in the wrong court, the judge sitting on the bench has literally zero legal power to hear the case. That power to decide a case is called jurisdiction. It acts as the essential sorting algorithm of the justice system, a complex routing matrix that determines exactly who has authority over whom. The first and largest branch of this sorting tree relies on state and local courts. This data bar chart shows the sheer scale of that local system. State courts catch a staggering 103 million cases every single year. They handle this volume because state courts hold what is called general jurisdiction. They are legally authorized to resolve the vast majority of our everyday issues, from family law and contract disputes to traffic tickets and most crimes. And the sorting is strictly geographic, down to the local level. The cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul sit right next to each other, but they operate as completely separate legal jurisdictions. Inside each state, the funnel narrows. Minor courts pass cases up to general trial courts, which then filter decisions up to an intermediate appeals court or the state Supreme Court. To run this massive machinery, states employ about 30,000 judges. Because these cases involve everyday local issues, the judges are almost exclusively held accountable through direct popular elections or selection commissions overseen by the community. The system intentionally relies on state courts as its backbone. It keeps the overwhelming majority of legal power close to home and accountable to local standards. Next, the federal courts. Operating under limited jurisdiction, they filter specific disputes involving federal law, the Constitution, bankruptcy, and maritime issues. This data comparison shows a stark difference. The 300,000 cases handled federally are completely dwarfed by the 103 million state cases. This limited jurisdiction solves our crash between Jack and Jill. Because the two drivers are from different states and face a severe dispute, Jack can route his case away from the Ohio state courts and into a federal court in Ohio, guaranteeing a neutral referee. The federal funnel has its own distinct physical geography. The nation is sliced into 94 federal districts. Those districts roll up into 12 regional circuits, alongside one highly specialized federal circuit in Washington, D.C. for complex topics like patent law and international trade. The 1,700 judges overseeing these courts face an intense selection process. They are strictly appointed by the president and must be confirmed by the Senate. Once confirmed, federal judges serve for life, unless formally impeached by Congress. They are entirely insulated from public elections or fundraising pressures. This distinct federal filter exists specifically to isolate national and interstate disputes from local bias. It trades direct voter accountability for absolute judicial independence. There are other branches in this tree where standard civilian rules do not apply at all. For the armed forces, Article 1 of the Constitution grants Congress the specific legal authority to develop an entirely separate military justice system. They operate under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, or UCMJ. It penalizes highly specific military conduct, like disobeying a lawful order, and cases are judged exclusively by military legal officers in proceedings called courts-martial. Additionally, tribal courts operate as distinct legal entities across hundreds of Native American reservations. Authority here is conditional. It depends heavily on the physical location of the offense and whether the individuals involved are Native American. While tribal courts are limited in criminal sentencing to penalties like a maximum of 1 year in prison or a $5,000 fine, they hold broad civil power to resolve internal disputes and preserve distinct cultural traditions. Together, military and tribal courts show that assigning jurisdiction requires matching legal authority directly to the operational rules and cultural realities of a specific society. This matrix diagram reveals the scale of the complete routing mechanism. State, federal, military, and tribal branches all operate simultaneously, processing highly specific categories of cases. This fragmented structure is the foundational design of American law. Neighborhood disputes are sent to elected locals. Constitutional clashes require the oversight of independent lifetime appointees. Highly specific legal codes demand military officers or tribal leaders. Jurisdiction serves as a mechanism to divide authority, ensuring that legal power is never consolidated into a single, unchallengeable entity. It guarantees that the courtroom judging your case is the only one legally, geographically, and culturally authorized to do so.